Hello, everybody. On YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, or wherever I'm able to upload this. My name is Donald Ramsey, and the channel is well, it's different things in different platforms, possibly, but King James Bible Sunday School or something to that effect. I'm gonna try my best to start posting again, get some things more specific on here, be more consistent in getting some content out. Um, I have a friend that does a podcast and going to be able to upload that kind of presentation, a couple of episodes on preservation of scripture, and it's not super structured, and it's a few different ideas and directions that we go, and just based on the conversation we had, you know, uh, what we discussed about it. So hopefully it's entertaining to you and enjoyable and informative as well. Anybody that's hearing me can ask questions, send me your comments. Let me know what you're thinking, or if would like some issue talked about. You want a perspective on it, something to that effect. I'll be glad to try to address anything that I see. And I'm not sure exactly how we're going to begin this and exactly where we're going to go with it. Some things will just maybe Sunday school lessons. Some things may be sort of book reviews, things like that. Some of the books that I am dealing with, reading, and going through currently. This one I'm close to done with it. The last 12 verses of Mark by Dean John William Burgon, written in 1871. He's also the author of The Revision Revised, and we may look at that as well. But going through this book, nearly finished with the chapters. I think I got a couple of chapters and about 4 or 5 appendices to read. So that's one of the books that I'm going through at the moment. Not that we would necessarily have any episodes about it. Also going through this book by David Stauffer, One Book, One Authority, 2,000 Years of Church and Bible History, and I may be a third of the way through that book right now. Of course, I have a Bible or two back here and some other things. Um, this is a good uh, book that I started studying a while back, going back and forth through it, called Defense of the Faith or Christian Doctrine by Albert Gardner. Uh, as far as I know, Albert Garner. As far as I know, it's not printed in hardcover anymore, but it is still in print in paperback. Bogard Press, I believe, has copies if you're looking for it. And we can go through some books like that on just doctrinal statements, doctrinal faith. I do have a couple of books on Baptist doctrines or Baptist statements of faith that I'm trying to get to as well. Just so you know, some of the things that's going on that I'm looking through. Um, Also doing a couple studies on a particular book or two of the Bible and seeing where that goes. Uh, and I will address, I do know that um, I think the best word for it for me that I can recall from reading another book was my tongue is too large for my mouth. So I have a certain way of saying some things that come across uh, maybe as mumbling, and I don't intend to do that. I hope I can be a little more clear in my speech when doing these videos, but I have noticed that I say certain things in a certain way that can be a detriment to some people in listening to me. Wouldn't expect you to listen long if I am difficult to hear. So, and I hope, of course, to improve at some point the functions of what we have as far as video recording. I want something that will show what I'm looking at so I can show you, like if it's Bible verses or if it's particular scripture. That's another thing we can look at for sure is like reviews of particular Bibles. I see a need for it. I see some people that don't really know what's available out there, or they have something because it was recommended to them. They haven't really looked into it, even carrying it around, you know. And there's just, of course, endless issues that we can always get into. But I would like to do some kind of reviews on um, some different Bibles. I have a number of Bibles that we can look at the function, the features of them, and see study Bibles and sorts of things like that, and just get into it. See what comes up. See what's fun to look at. See what's interesting. You if you tell me what you're interested in, I'm likely to be interested in it as well. So I can direct the videos in that way, and try to make it as you know as interesting as possible, and not get bogged down with something that nobody's wanted to hear or listen to. But a lot to say. I want to be as consistent as I can, and it's not. Um, hopefully, it's not too long before the next uh, personal video comes out. But we'll get those uh, uh, parts 1 and 2 or so of that preservation discussion up as soon as we can. Um, and I got a couple of Sunday schools I think I need to find and put out there a series of messages that were done not too long ago. Um, and if it was handy, I would pull up some other of the books I'm looking at, um, and probably I'll give you some recommendations of certain books here not too long from now, and an example of why I would say they're good to have and to use. Probably one of the most important things I think is lacking this day in churches that I see and that I'm able to be um, in some way, I wouldn't say necessarily involved with, but connected to, listening to, or meeting people there, or um, just in whatever way there's a connection. You know, there's just what I notice has been going on a long time has been a lack of reading and study, mainly of scripture, but then of just other books, good books, and things like that. And people will pull up a book of some sort that's so general and basic and lacking in any depth at all that it just it saddens me to think that that's where so many people are, that so many people are stuck in that kind of low, I mean super low um, points of view. um, it's hard to even call it a Christian worldview. It's more of a basic philosophy that has some goodness about it, but nothing deep, nothing really spiritual about it. So I'll give you some things to look at, some recommendations, um, and I hope that you can expand your knowledge and uh, expand your library. And I'll try to give you every resource I can where you can get it in any way. And hopefully it's helpful to you and encouraging, and hopefully I can keep this stuff up. And I will see you next time.